Welcome to It's On Halifax with your hosts, Mark Adam and Pat King. It's On Halifax is brought to you by A2 Canada and Oasis on Spring Garden Road.
Welcome to another episode of It's On Halifax. I'm one of your hosts, Mark Adam. This is Pat King. We're in a new location today, so we're dealing with new challenges. And I'm sorry, if you're watching the video, the cat is smacking the tripod around with the camera on it.
Either he's annoyed we won't play with him, or he just is
a dick.
He's kind of a dick since we're all up in his business.
Yeah, we're at Emily's on the set of Ham Hands. If you watch the Ham Hands podcast or video cast, I should say.
Yeah. Vlog, even.
Vlog, yeah, there you go. We're on the set of that because our studio is moving, and until we actually get settled into the new spot, this will be our home for the next, week, 2 weeks, possibly 3. We'll see.
You never told me that. I thought it was just going to be a week, but I do like it here. It's very classy. Adds a touch of class to our shenanigans, although Adam is still carrying a full flask full of rum. Because
nothing says class like a flask full of rum.
True. Wouldn't be It's On Halifax if one of us weren't at least somewhat inebriated.
Are we talking about your...
No, that's fine.
Okay.
See if people can guess. I'm sorry, we've got our mouths full here. I was like, Adam, should we wait until, we finish eating? He's like, nah, fuck that. You disrespectful cad.
Whatever.
He says with a mouthful of food.
It's our podcast, so we can do what we want. I do what I want.
So what have we got in store for this week?
Well, it's tricky. See, I wasn't sure what the setup was going to be, and now we don't have a monitor to line up all our stuff. So we're going to have to rely heavily on Emily.
It's a good thing we mic'd her, huh?
I know.
Hello.
That's the sultry sounds of our controller, Emily. So you're going to do a lot of the legwork today. Like, maybe this day in history. And some other interesting points. There's a lot of things in the news lately.
There's a bunch of things on our Facebook page that I posted this week that I'd like to discuss.
Lots of good times.
So when you feel like we're faltering, Emily, just throw a subject at us. Like now.
What's that? I'm having issues with Twitter.
I'm sorry, what?
Issues with Twitter.
Emily's having issues with Twitter. That's okay. We'll deal. So,
Twitter's overrated anyway.
how was your week, sir?
Stressful.
Yeah? In recovering from St. Patrick's Day?
Well, that, and I've been overwhelmed with projects that Kevin has been away for the last week or two at his real job, so a lot of the Indie Forge Media stuff has kind of fell upon me. Did a lot of photography. We had our show. Yeah, just trying to get everything straightened out, cross some things off the list, and try and stay grounded. So.
Yeah. A lot of things on the go. I've been mostly stressed because of the move.
Yeah, I imagine. I did a lot of that a couple of years back.
Yeah, the move is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt hootie.
I'm pretty excited to see the new setup, though. We can make it our own.
Well, and that's the thing. We'll have like a dedicated space that I don't have to convert, every Sunday. So it'll be nice, and it'll be better for the recording quality. The video quality will be better because we'll have a permanent setup.
Right.
It'll be nice. And our guests will enjoy it a little more because it'll be a dedicated space for our guests to come. And speaking of which, My Living Will be coming back on the show.
Oh, fantastic.
Thumbs up. We have to just figure out a date that works for us and them, and I don't think that bringing a bunch of people here to the Ham Hand set will work.
Well, this is a very small couch.
Yeah.
We'd have to start stacking artists.
Depending on who the artist is. I mean, Carmen Townsend. Anyway.
Put it down.
She's so cute.
She is. She's wonderful. And
and so talented.
Having had many occasions to meet her, she's just a really lovely down-home person. Just really down to earth.
Yeah. No, agreed. Speaking of music, like I said, My Living Will played a show on Friday. that I didn't even know they were going to be on until the last minute.
Now, I thought you booked them too. I'm like,
Well,
didn't you book everyone for the Oasis?
Well, I do, but originally it was supposed to be just Little King Hunter. But then they changed the card that week to Little King Hunter, Big Game Hunt, and My Living Will.
See, My Living Will they didn't continue the theme. I don't like that at all. My OCD is like, no, something needs to get hunted.
And it needs to reflect a particular size.
Yes.
Little King Hunter, Big Game Hunt, Medium Shoe Hunt.
Awful. That was terrible.
Medium Jacket Hunt?
Stop.
Okay.
I haven't really been out to many more shows. I thought about going to the Seahorse last night. A friend of mine invited me out to one of the cover shows that some friends of ours do. Some local open mic, Staples, Caesar, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, there was the Red
cover
Hot Chili
band.
Peppers. There was... Who else was it Stone Temple Pilots?
Yes.
And what was the other cover?
I can't remember.
I didn't go to the event, but I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Just...
I miss the Seahorse. I haven't been to the Seahorse in a long while, but probably for the best.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of amazing experiences at the Seahorse.
Oh, I love it.
I always feel like, the band is awesome, but I need to go.
It's I guess a little bit of nostalgia for me because it's the first bar that I ever got into when I was, I think, 17 or 18.
Okay.
But more recently, in the past couple of years, I saw Hey Ocean there, which was kind of strange for the Seahorse. I don't know why it struck me as strange because they're kind of an upbeat band. But it was one of the most high energy and enjoyable shows I've ever been to in my life. I love the venue. I went to a little bit of the Halifax Pop Explosion stuff last year. Also enjoyable. And I love their horsepower beer. I do. It tastes like a little bit like motor oil, but I just love that shit.
It sounds
Extra
like
strong.
it should taste like that.
And I made this drink called the Dark Horse, where you just drop a shot of Jaeger into the horsepower beer. It's fucking terrible. It will curl your toes. But, it'll get you drunk. It's a good time. So if you're at the Seahorse enjoying a show, try one of those just for kicks. Hopefully they'll put it on the menu someday.
So it's a Jaeger in horsepower beer.
Yeah,
you call it
a Dark Horse. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's good times. Other than that, this week, I mean...
I wanted to go to Noble so bad this week.
Yeah, we always want to go to Noble.
I just couldn't go. I was so mad. I just didn't have the time. I was, you think you're doing well for time and da-da-da, and, I had to work Thursday night and Friday night.
Yeah, see, Thursday is generally my go-to night because it's also not very packed.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm hoping they put some new things on the menu soon. Maybe switch it up a little bit. I think between the two of us, we've probably ran through almost the entire menu.
No, I've ran through almost all of it by myself.
Yeah.
So add the things that you drank.
Oh, yeah.
Because I avoid anything that's main ingredient is absinthe. I like drinks with absinthe in it.
Whereas last time we went there, I
drank a shot
straight.
of
Well, it wasn't really a shot. I did it the classic Parisian way with the spoon and the sugar and the water and everything, which is delicious. I really like it. Tastes a little bit like licorice.
Black licorice.
Yes, yeah, but very subtly.
But I'm not a fan of black licorice. See, and that's like, I don't like black licorice, so Sambuca pisses me off. Like, it's just...
I only like Sambuca because you can light it on fire.
Well, fair. Okay.
Can't you light any alcohol on fire?
No.
No.
You can't.
No? Really?
Only overproof alcohols. 151, Sambuca, brandy, generally you can light on fire. You better be writing these down, because when the zombie apocalypse comes, you're going to need to know this. Molotov cocktails.
Right.
But most vodkas don't light. Rums don't light. Some white
151 rums.
Yeah, like overproof rums. What else? Yeah, that's pretty well lit. Like, I don't think there's any kinds of whiskey that light.
No, because the alcohol content would have to be so high. Like, nobody would make a whiskey like that.
Well, I do enjoy Wild Turkey, which is 50.5%, I believe. And I don't think that lights.
That's bourbon. That's not whiskey.
Same difference.
Well, yeah, bourbon, yeah.
Yeah, bourbon is whiskey made with a single ingredient. For example, this bourbon is made with corn. Jack Daniels is also a bourbon, but Jack Daniels is a whiskey.
Yeah.
Not all whiskeys are bourbons, but all bourbons are whiskeys.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sorry. I'm getting mixed up because Southern Comfort is not bourbon. It's made from bourbon.
Yeah, it's a liqueur.
Yeah, made from bourbon.
Exactly.
Right. No, I'm getting my liquors mixed up.
Come on now.
Dude, I'm drinking right now. It's hard to keep things straight.
I've got an encyclopedic knowledge of liquors. No, I wouldn't say encyclopedic. It's a wealth of experience.
Yeah. I don't know how it's made, but I know what it does to me. That's the Pat King encyclopedia.
Well, no, I know how a lot of it's made too, just because, when I'm in the bathroom, I like reading the bottle. I mean...
That's not sad at all, Pat. It's not sad at all. That's where he keeps his...
That's
where he keeps his empties, folks.
I've read all the shampoo and junk. It's you end up without a book. You got to read something.
So much booze lining the walls of your bathroom.
You want a topic?
Yes, we want a topic. Thank you, Emily.
You have something about Kickstarter here.
Oh, there were 2 stories of Kickstarter this week that made me go, what is wrong with us as a race? One was that the WB is asking for their fans to fund, was it Veronica Mars, the movie?
Incorrect. The WB is not asking. The creator, writer, producer, and director of the show is asking.
But it's a WB. Like, I just don't understand how Warner Brothers is like, we'll do everything except for give you money.
Well, because they don't want to take the risk. They are going to be giving them money. Once the Kickstarter's completed, which it already has been, because it took them like a day to raise $2.5 million.
I think it's up to like $3 million.
They're over $3 million.
That's great. Because it shows the fans care that much about it, and the more money that the fans can raise, the better the movie's going to be. But what the WB is going to have to do is provide a wide release, theatrical releases, advertising, insurance, you name it. Just the principal funds for the shoot are coming from Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And the WB said, listen, we'll let you make it.
Because they still own the rights.
Exactly. We'll do everything else, because, where they own the rights, they're going to want to promote it, because they've got the potential to make a huge profit on money that they didn't spend.
I have a problem with that. I don't know. It just aggravates me.
Well, and it's just another problem with the studio system that eventually crowdsourcing and direct digital downloads are going to kind of solve. It's
really
a good.
The studios decide.
So you think it's a good thing?
Going to be.
I think it's an okay thing. I think it's a step in the right direction.
I don't know. I think it's a dangerous, risky step.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But when progress isn't risky, then it's not really progress.
That was surprisingly deep.
Yeah, I know. Sober for 5 days.
Sober Pat says things that hurt my head. Stop making me think.
No.
No. Also, the second story with Kickstarter, also this week, was there was a 9-year-old girl that wanted to make a video game.
Yeah, she wants
asked
to
for
make
$870
to send her to RPG Camp, where they teach you to use RPG Maker, which is a program I've toyed with in the past. It's really fun, and it really is something that a 9-year-old could use. But this is the one I have a huge problem with.
Yeah, so this 9-year-old girl wants to make an RPG, asked for $870 or something.
Yeah, to go to camp.
Yeah, made a video
with the help of her mother, because you need to be 21.
You have to be 18 or 20 or I'm not sure what the rules are for Kickstarter.
But there is an age limit.
There is an age limit. So she's partnering with her mom. So her mom basically signed up and said, I'm taking all the legal responsibility.
Well, and then I'm sure she helped make the video. She wrote the entry for the Kickstarter. She yada yada yada.
This girl's 9.
9 years old.
Jesus. Anyway, so far they're up over $14,000.
Yeah.
They asked for $870. She's over $14,000 in donations in Kickstarter.
So they said that the extra money is going to go towards buying her a new computer, which is great, but RPG Maker, not that intensive of a program on processing power. You're working with 2D sprites, shit like that. And how big of a game is this girl going to make? She's 9 years old. Who says she's even going to make it? I mean, she's 9. I had a lot of interests when I was 9.
Yeah.
They came and went like the phases of the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do?
I started writing a novel when I was 9.
Yeah.
That lasted, half a day.
I got to the end of a 60-page journal. That's like the little notebooks, scribblers. And then, gone. But I after doing some research, I mean, it looks really strange. I mean, there's a lot of fishy things going on with this Kickstarter, with the mother especially.
Yeah, the whole thing seems kind of really sketchy to me.
Yeah, but it's hard to say.
Using a 9-year-old as bait.
Yeah, see, that's deplorable.
On the internet.
And sure, if it's true, then it's wonderful. Fine, that's great.
If it's absolutely true as advertised across the board on the level, okay.
See, and it's similar. I can support this just because it's a 9-year-old girl who wants to get into game development, which it's a pretty male-dominated industry, right? And I think it's a really inspiring story for other girls who want to get into it. I think game development is something that people should take an interest in and make it a viable career. And
being a geek or nerd or whatever, that's the realm of geekosity or nerddom is very mainstream. It's becoming more and more popular these days. So I totally support anybody that wants to get into that, especially at a young age. But
and
a
especially
9-year-old girl asking for like just shy of $1,000 on the internet,
that's fine. Sure.
Yeah.
But and you have to fault the people who are giving all of this extra money.
That's the thing. Like the Veronica Mars project, I have a big problem with a big studio taking a bunch of their fans' money to crowdsource it, because nerds will do that.
Oh yeah, but they're getting something that they want. It's, they're in it for the Kickstarter, like the prizes that you get when you donate. They are in it to see this film get made of a license that they truly, truly love. And that's wonderful. That's a fan base. But all these people who are giving money to this 9-year-old girl might never even see anything materialize. Thousands upon thousands of dollars. Yeah, I mean, maybe if her mother isn't some unscrupulous bitch and doesn't spend it all, maybe it'll help to send her to college or something. Wonderful. Do that. But it's just
sketchy, and
there's not enough transparency. You
it's
can't
one of those things
up.
where that's why I think Kickstarter is kind of broken. Crowdsourcing is it's so tough because, I mean, people are like, fire is awful. Like, no, fire is a tool. Fire can destroy your entire house and like ruin your life.
It's only as broken as people let it be.
Well, that's just it. You got to be careful with how you use any tool. A drill is a great thing. It puts holes in walls so you can put pictures up, and you can, build houses. It helps you, you know what I mean? But you can also kill someone with it. Like, it's everything is
creative.
Well, I'm just saying,
sick fuck.
How everything about tools is how you use it, and are we letting these tools run away with themselves and do more harm than good?
Some people are, but some people are dumb. The majority of people will let shit get away with that's.
And the problem is, anything on the internet, people feel a lot more disconnected from. Like, if it's not directly affecting them on the internet, then they're super disconnected from it. So they're watching all these awful things happen on the internet, but it's the internet. So,
but I can parallel an example with Kickstarter. From fairly recently, there was a girl named Anita Sarkeesian. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She started a Kickstarter because she wanted to do an investigation of women versus the tropes depicting women in video games. She's like a feminist scholar or something like that, a grad student. And she raised, I think it was something like almost $500,000, something like $300,000. And people were super fucking pissed because, A, the gaming community was like, a lot of these tropes are bullshit. You know very little about video games. You're making points about the wrong games. You're completely ignoring games that completely defeat your point. And the sheer amount of money that she received was probably about 10 times more than scientists get for legitimate studies and grants. And then she started releasing these videos slowly, fairly recently, and they're not open to discussion on the internet. Comments are disabled. because she started getting a lot of very misogynistic, threatening, like very angry emails. I mean, she totally pissed off the male-dominated gaming community, but she made this case study, and now it's not open to discussion. People paid almost fucking $500,000 for this, and it's completely defeating the scientific method. And the production costs are awful. Like, they're so low, I could make it in my living room, and have made better things in my living room. And I think a situation like that is 10 times worse than some little girl getting like 13, 14 grand.
Well, and that crowdsourcing as a rule, like, and you just said something that kind of disturbed me, is that she's getting 10 times more than what legit scientists get to research with things. Does that mean that, like, is that something that's going to start a trend where scientists researching cures for cancer are going to start going to Kickstarter?
I would rather them do that.
I mean, you know,
absolutely.
Because then you know that money's going to those researchers.
Exactly, and you don't have pharmaceutical companies immediately slapping a copyright on some molecule or you know, that kind of thing, or trademarking it, or completely burying it and charging 10 times more. You would, since it was crowdsourced, it would be open source.
But crowdsourcing, clearly, as you've just described, doesn't always... Because at the end of the day, whoever is doing the crowdsourcing, whoever's getting the money, makes all the calls. So it's not like the crowd giving the money. Like, if I give my $10, that doesn't mean that I...
No, you don't have any say, no.
That's what I'm saying.
But generally, if...
So how does that make that... Well, how does that make that open source other than...
Kickstarter's got a bit of a safety net. It makes it open source because nobody's going to own it, technically. I mean, if they say, we want money to make this, and it's crowdsourced with those funds... the people who are doing the research are going to own it. And any scientist worth his salt who, for example, wants to research a cure for Parkinson's disease or something, and actually does it, do you think that they're going to take it immediately and sell it to a large pharmaceutical company or like make a buck on it?
Yes.
I really don't think so.
I think so. That's my fear. That's why I'm concerned.
That's fair.
They're going to take all our money and then go make a shit ton more by selling it and patenting it with some huge pharmaceutical giant.
But that's the thing. If a scientist patents it, and not a company that owns the scientist's research, then people can charge whatever they want for it. And he's going to get money for it, regardless.
Yeah, I guess.
He will live until the end of his days happily, knowing that he cured 500,000 people of some disease.
I don't know. I think it's just, it's like I said, it's one of those dangerous things where it depends on how it's...
The future is now, motherfucker. I think these kinds of problems are definitely not all that concerning. Like, well,
I mean, they're good problems to have. Exactly. Is that, you know, people want to give money to the right people, and crowdsourcing offers an opportunity for that to happen. I'm just worried about all the back end, like, you know, how does...
I mean, better than spending your days worrying about typhoid fever. I mean, fuck.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair
what are we going to do with all these discoveries and new stuff that we're spending money on?
That's fair. All right, anyway.
And I can't wait for Veronica Mars to come out. I'm very excited. Yeah, I haven't seen it all yet. I've only just started.
When we showed up, we interrupted Emily watching Veronica Mars.
I did. I just started watching it like last week, and I'm on second season.
Yeah, a lot of people I know just started it after hearing about the Kickstarter thing, and they're like, "Where in the fuck did I not?"
I got a question. What's the premise of the show? Because I've never seen it. So.
Basically, a high school girl. She's high school at the beginning of the series. She works for her father's detective agency, and so she solves mysteries and things like that. But
so she's Nancy Drew.
She's a
modern
age.
Yeah, she's a modern day Nancy Drew with a lot more attitude and spunk, I guess. And
I love Kristen Bell.
Yeah, she's hilarious. It's very well. It's a little Joss Whedon-esque in its writing and the attitude around it, I find.
Sold.
Yeah.
Immediately sold. Which is another topic that came up talking about the Veronica Mars Kickstarter. People immediately went to Joss Whedon and like, so when are you going to do it to Firefly, huh?
Yeah, do it. Huh? You can.
And, I mean, obviously...
Dude, I'd give money to that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would too.
Fuck Fox.
Everybody would. He'd have $15 million by the end of the day. But unfortunately, I mean, he's kind of... what was the way he put it? Anyway, he's controlling the entire Marvel movie saga at this point. Like
he really is with the Avengers.
Yeah.
And
He's the Don Corleone of the Marvel universe at this point. So he's
because Avengers was
full-plate.
epic.
Well, and Nathan Fillion is still doing Castle, so he's still. I mean that. Doing a Firefly reunion would be hard to put together, but
Morena Baccarin is doing Homeland.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she's the wife of the main character.
Fantastic. Good to see her working.
Yeah, no, well, she did V also for a while, like the series V.
Oh, yeah. That only lasted a couple of seasons.
She was like the main villain in V.
Huh. Cool. I want to see Jewel State in something again.
She's in the LA Complex.
Where in the... I've been missing a lot of television, apparently.
Yeah. I didn't watch... The LA Complex is kind of like a Beverly Hills 90210, like one of those kind of shows. So I've never actually watched it. Oh. So, but I do know she's in it because she tweets about it all the time.
Oh, yeah. No,
when she's not tweeting about being drunk and or eating food, because she's a huge foodie.
Yeah, I know.
Which is awesome. But when she's not tweeting about that, she's tweeting about the LA Complex. And based on her tweets, I feel like she's a villain. Yeah. Sometimes she tweets things like, "That's my character, it's not me. I'm so sorry." like, oh,
she would apologize. So Canadian.
I know, right? You know what? I don't know what Alan Tudyk's up to.
No, he's always up to something.
He is currently on a sitcom called Suburgatory.
So what?
Suburgatory.
Yeah,
it's very funny.
I've never heard of it.
It's
what network's it on?
I can't remember. Let me look it up.
It's always on Ice Films where I go to pirate all my television. But I always skip by it.
If Alan Tudyk's on it, I'm watching. That guy is the funniest motherfucker. It's on ABC.
Yeah. It's a really cute little show about a dad and his daughter who lived in New York, and then he moves her to the suburbs because he thinks it's going to be a better life for her, and they're like totally weird there. Like the stereotypical plus more of what people think the suburbs are like. It's hilarious.
I have to watch this.
Yeah,
Alan Tudyk is one of my favorite Firefly characters in Wash.
He's just one of my favorite character actors. Period.
Yeah, I mean, he like Steve the Pirate in in Dodgeball, and he was the sidekick for what's his name and A Knight's Tale. What the hell's his name? Heath Ledger.
Right.
He's Heath Ledger's sidekick. That movie had...
I totally forgot about that.
That movie also starred Paul Bettany, who is amazing.
Really? Interesting.
Love Paul Bettany.
I've been getting my Alan Tudyk fix from Dollhouse, which I recently finished in like a week. 2 straight seasons. He played a villain called Alpha, and he was kind of hardcore. I'd never seen him play a villain before.
Who's that?
Alan Tudyk. I mean, a hardcore murderous villain.
On what show?
Dollhouse. One of Joss Whedon's like...
Oh, I saw the first 5 episodes of that.
Yeah, really good.
I haven't got around to going back to that.
Check it out. It's
it
on
looked
Netflix.
Really good.
Yeah. And he only shows up near the end of the first season, but it shows a little bit of his range, which is great.
Well, he's awesome.
Apparently, he's also on a show called Young Justice, where he plays Green Arrow.
Yeah, that's a cartoon.
Oh, I had no idea.
It's the Justice League cartoon.
Oh, it does say voice. That's really cool.
Yeah. I haven't watched a lot of superhero cartoons for a while now.
Yeah, it's been... There's so many live action superhero stuff going on right now, like Arrow, and which by the way is fucking amazing.
If I actually had like satellite or cable or something, I'm sure I would watch it just because I'd be like, "Hey, cartoons are on, sweet." But I'm not gonna like actively go.
Nobody's gonna download cartoons at our age. Like, there's so much other stuff. My list of things to watch is so long already. I can't add cartoons.
I still haven't caught up on a lot of movies from last year, which I've kind of been lamenting over lately.
Well, like right now, I'm watching Castle because I'm not caught up yet, and I'm also watching How I Met Your Mother. Nice. I'm in the first season of that, thanks to Netflix. I'm finishing up season 7 of Futurama on Netflix.
How do we have time to do anything?
I don't know. So much TV and so many movies.
I know. I don't know how to get anything done because I watch ridiculous amounts of TV.
Yeah, I know. And I've been meaning to get out to the theater more often, which is really kind of my first love as far as watching, being entertained. because the new Park Chan-wook film just opened at Oxford. It's his first North American production with
What's it called?
Stoker. It's called. It's a very subversive kind of thriller. It's after his last movie was Thirst, which he filmed in South Korea. It was a vampire movie, and it was long. It's like a 3-hour epic. It's really, really fucking good. And he did the Revenge trilogy, Old Boy, and Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, and Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, which all very, very good films. But this is apparently super, super intense. It's got Mia Wasikowska and what's her name? Australian lady, real pretty. Used to be married to Tom Cruise.
Nicole Kidman?
That's the one. Yeah.
I got you back.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman. Where the hell has she been lately?
If only I knew less about Tom Cruise. But anyway, we're going to take a break because we've been going for about a half hour or so. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back, and we'll talk about a couple other things, which also are on our Facebook page. So check it out while we're on break. And what else have we got going on? We're going to do This Day in History.
This Day in History, yeah. There's a little bit of news lately I wanted to talk about, but since we don't like talking about politics, I'm just going to bash on the Conservative government for like 5 seconds.
Okay, we'll take a quick and pointed rant.
Okay.
Done.
Sure.
Awesome. So we'll be back.
You want your special day to be just right, right? Well, so did I. I called A2 Canada, and all the little details took care of themselves. An audio-video setup, photographer, and even a videographer, all working as a team to capture the memories I cared about. Oh, and I saved a bundle by getting them all in the same place. You should try it.
A2 Canada. Professionalism you can count on.
Oasis, epic sports pub, where you don't have to spend a lot to get a lot.
So bad, it's just,
I was like, Danny, how long is it? He goes, because I wanted to know, is it possible for us to watch it on the show? He's like, well, I made it 47 seconds, but I think it's 4 minutes long.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things that you laugh at how bad it is. There was a video that Will Sasso put together, the lemon thing. Have you seen that?
The what?
It's on my Facebook wall. It's a compilation of videos that Will Sasso put up on this app called Vine.
Vine.
Yeah.
It just makes like GIFs, animated GIFs.
Yeah, I laughed so hard I almost peed. It's so funny.
What?
Go to my Facebook page.
This doesn't taste anything like a sandwich, an ice cream sandwich.
That's what I wanted to talk about too. That the Conservative government
What is it?
struck down a bill that would allow scientists to openly share their findings with the public, or essentially just be scientists.
Why?
No reason. Because the Conservative government wants to control the flow of information. Essentially, if they're giving a scientist government money to study something, they want to be able to actively filter the information that gets...
Well, you know what's
Give me the
scary
public.
is on a list of countries like
scroll down a little fast.
on a list of countries like in freedom of information,
Yeah. Almost done.
Canada's like 30 or less.
This? Are we watching this?
Yeah.
What is it?
The Will Sasso thing. On the left. It's a compilation of, full screen.
We're not coming to here. Hold on. What is he doing?
Homemade almond. Water, almond, lemon.
watched it, I'm laughing like an idiot in my apartment.
Get
Just
your
like,
face out of those chips.
that man's fucking hilarious.
That's awesome.
Okay, so I've got this day in history up. So do you want to do the Gangnam Style video this week?
I don't want to do it at all. I hate it.
No, I think we'll say, well, because he's already seen it, right? That's
Oh.
And I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, it's so bad, it's hilarious. I'm like, why would anyone waste their time watching this?
well, they made their time making it.
What?
They wasted their time making it.
Well, yeah, but because you spend your time making something doesn't mean it's worth watching.
Not for you. You wouldn't even eat it anyway. He like wants human food and then he smells it and tries to look at it a couple times and then just stares at me like, what is that?
Yeah, fuck you. Why would you give this to me?
You keep putting it in your pie hole.
But then he still wants it afterwards. Like, even though there's some sitting on the floor in front of him, he still wants what I have in my hand.
You're dumb.
See? You have to put it down, I think. Oh my god, he's actually eating it.
Apparently your cat loves dill pickled chips.
Okay.
The face.
He wouldn't eat fish when I gave it to him the other day.
Here, now flip it over. There's more.
His eye is busy twitching, processing that one. So this day in history, you want to bring some up?
Thumbs up, buddy.
Have you seen any good ones?
I didn't really look at it.
You throw a good one at us, we'll talk about it briefly, whilst you find another one.
Yeah, the rest is just potato.
Canada gave blacks the right to vote. African Canadians, is that more politically correct? I really don't know anymore.
Blacks.
What are you talking about that?
What is it?
The politically correctness that is our country. Like how the Inuit people, or the Eskimo people, wrote a letter to the government years ago and said, leave us alone, we're Eskimos, we're fine with that, fuck off. Because the government was like, you can't call them Eskimos, they're Inuit.
No,
They're like, we're Eskimos, it's fine.
That's like if you have a black friend and you're out at the bar and you call them black and someone's just like, that is African American, please. The guy's like, I'm Canadian. Also, never seen Africa. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like saying,
You don't need to be indignant for someone.
see, have you met my Scottish friend? Actually, I'm Canadian. My grandparents were
Scottish.
Also, it's very possible he's not even descended from people from Africa. Could be like Dominican.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a hole in my shirt.
Various other nationalities that have darker skin.
Oh.
Does that look like a cat's teeth print to you?
A little bit. You gonna eat your chip?
Oh no, he just licked the seasoning off.
Is that good?
The rest is just potatoes, so it's like,
Boring.
You guys ready?
No.
Your video is not on.
I'm still eating.
And we're back. Hi, Pat.
Hello.
What are you eating?
Chips.
You
I
were
was sharing
feeding
them
them to the cat.
Well, I mean, he seemed to enjoy it. Emily was like, he never eats people food. Seems to love dill pickle chips. Not the potato part, just the seasoning.
Yeah. You licked it off and then he made weird faces for 10 minutes.
And now he looks like he's controlling the second computer. That's adorable. That's so cute right now.
How's his breath? Is it dill pickly?
Meh.
Meh. All right.
Yeah, we talked about lots on the break, trying to come up with some semblance of a show.
You wanted to rant about the government for a while, and I have no problem with hearing rants about our conservative government.
Not even a rant per se, but recently a vote passed in the government, and the bill was essentially to allow scientists to share their findings with the general public. I mean, that's the long and short of it anyway. You can find the 3 propositions online, and you can also find out how your local MP voted against it, for or against. I actually went in and looked up almost every riding in Nova Scotia. They all voted yes towards it, so I was like, well, I don't even have anyone to complain to. Shit. But essentially, the Conservative government voted to disallow scientists to share any government-funded findings with the public. They get to control all the information that scientists discover about, for example, the Keystone Pipeline, or the tar sands, or any environmental accords, Kyoto, that kind of thing, emissions. The government can filter it and feed it to us as they see fit.
You know where else they do that?
Where?
China.
China, yes. That's exactly true. As far as freedom of information in the government goes, Canada is slipping very, very slowly down to the bottom of the list. I mean, and it was bad enough that we are rivaling some third world countries for access to the internet, like price gouging in telecommunications. Fucking irks me real bad. But this is so much worse.
Well, yeah, the freedom of information in Canada, when they had like the top 100 worst, and Canada was on the list.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's not okay. When you think about it, you're like, every year there's a big, huge study, and it's found that Canada is the most sought after place to live. Like the best quality of living is in Canada, not the States.
Not anymore.
In Canada. Well, we still keep winning that particular.
Well, the nicest to live in.
To live in total, as far as overall, right? Mm. But the actual,
I swear to God, that's got to belong to some Norwegian country at this point.
Well, yeah, I would think Switzerland or
Sweden or something like that.
I would go to Amsterdam because we can smoke pot and get whores.
Yeah.
People like pot and whores. So
why do you think I haven't been to Amsterdam?
You'd never come back.
No.
We are actually 11th on the list of the Human Development Index. So the 11th best country to live in.
11th, see?
Oh,
I knew.
Who's first?
Norway and Australia are tied.
Australia.
And the United States
started
is
as a prison colony, and it's number 2 on the list.
Number 3 is the United States.
Huh.
We always used to be above the United States.
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, look what the government's doing to us and our fucking international reputation. And that's really all I wanted to say, because it speaks for themselves. I mean, if
we don't want to get political, but dear Mr. Harper,
yeah,
suck a dick.
Yeah, I mean, science is science, and if you can't share your findings with the rest of the world, it's defeating the entire scientific method.
I don't know.
You know, if you can't share your findings, not only with the public, but with other scientists, to corroborate and confirm or deny, then essentially the government can make up whatever information they want about whatever they pay money to have investigated. So take some time, read into it, find out which way, if you're living in Canada, that your local MP voted, and if you don't like the way they voted, write them a letter. Go to the polls, that kind of thing. And I'm not one for being politically active, but there are very small steps that you can take that don't really take a lot of time out of your daily life that help. Growing up, hooray!
Yeah.
Yeah, politically active. I mean, but that's the one thing I wanted to bitch about today.
All right, so
This day in history?
This day in history we're going to do, just to get away from the political side of things.
Although I'm sure some of it...
some of those will be political.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. So, what's up? Emily, throw one at us.
1832, Mormon Joseph Smith was beaten, tarred, and feathered in Ohio.
Joseph Smith was beaten, tarred, and feathered.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, for being a fraud and a shyster.
And a murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
there's
the
that.
Don King
the
of
whole-
religion.
The whole mass grave that they found.
What?
Look it up. The Mormons basically killed a bunch of people, and buried them, and moved on.
Huh. Well, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Mitt Romney was shoveling out a shallow grave right about now.
I'm sure, you know, the Mormon religion itself, I'm sure it's based on all the good stuff like every religion is.
It's not, no. It's idiotic. Have you ever, like, the...
I've never really read about it. I don't
Well,
care.
basically this guy, Adam Smith, said that Jesus was somehow in the United States, in Ohio at the time, and he was given these tablets to read, but only he could read them, but only when he had his head stuck in this hat where they were at the bottom of, and he got someone to scribe it down verbatim, and basically just pulled a bunch of shit out of his ass. It says stuff like Jesus actually lived in Ohio, and, you know, back in the day, and, like, I had some stuff about the Native American Indians in there for whatever fucking reason. A bunch of stuff about other planets. They have these weird ceremonies where they baptize living people and convert already dead people to their religion. It's fucking insane.
And you know, there's the whole polygamy thing, which the current Mormon church does not agree with and has decided that it's not part of their, but it used to be.
Yeah.
And it used to be that you had to have at least 3 wives to be in a certain kingdom of heaven, and if you had more, you get to be in a better kingdom.
Well, no, what,
Something like that.
and I think one of the things that they say is that, like, only certain people are saved. And you might not be one of them, even if you live your life absolutely perfectly. But if you don't live your life perfectly, you definitely will. You'll lose your status as saved.
Well, and the time that I spent reading about it, I got to a point where I was just like, all right, I can confirm that this is entirely bullshit and shouldn't even exist. This is fucking crazy.
Okay, so we've moved on from politics to religion. This is taking a turn for the worse.
Next.
Well,
What's next, Emily?
When your savior or whatever, when your prophet gets tarred and feathered, I'd say that's for like,
Hey,
Jesus was
Jesus was
crucified.
crucified.
He was tarred and feathered.
Well, that was the most embarrassing and painful way to kill someone at the time.
I imagine it's awful.
But that said, you know, for a religion that believes that you can become part of God by dying.
It's funny that a bunch of
Weird.
the religions that were created within the last few hundred years, I mean, look at Scientology and Mormonism, I think are the two that were created most recently. Both heads of the church, both creators, were actually confessed or prosecuted fraudsters. They commit fraud. I mean, fucking L. Ron Hubbard was a drug addict, an abusive alcoholic who...
And he wrote
science fiction.
Sci-fi fiction.
Exactly. So, I mean, I guess it goes to say something where we've got that transparency to know about these people. I mean, back in the day, man, some guy wandering through the desert telling you stories, and you're like, Jesus Christ, this guy's intense. You'd have no way to know. Anyway, let's go. I just think it's funny.
As we discussed earlier, 1837, Canadian gave blacks the right to vote.
Canadians gave blacks the right to vote in 1837?
Yes.
Wow. Look at us being
37.
forward thinkers.
Yeah, that's
quite a fucking long time ago.
I'm trying to think of when the Emancipation Proclamation was out. I mean, obviously, blacks didn't get the right to vote for years after that. But yeah.
Look up blacks voting in the States, Em.
Emancipation Proclamation.
No, you're going to have to look up when they first voted, because the Emancipation Proclamation just meant that white people couldn't own them anymore.
Yeah, that was...
It didn't even...
That was in the 1800s.
Yeah, it didn't even put an end to indentured servitude, which still existed for some years afterward.
You can't own a human being. That was the Emancipation Proclamation.
Exactly, but...
In a nutshell.
But they can owe you so much money that they are legally entitled to serve you.
The 15th Amendment, which stated that your right to vote cannot be denied based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude, was made in 1870.
Oh, wow.
Way ahead of the States on that one.
Take
Go
that.
Canada! Except for all the other weird shit that we do.
Yeah, we do some weird shit, but yeah, what do you do?
It is what it is.
I like the poutine, though.
Yeah, that's the best invention ever.
To hell with blacks voting. That's fine. Just take away my poutine, I will fucking end you.
In 1898, the first automobile was sold.
1898, the first automobile. Was it Ford?
It doesn't say.
I think it probably was.
Probably. That's the first car company, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it was the first car sold.
I'm pretty, 95% sure it would be. I'd go with it in Final Jeopardy. That's for sure.
That's fair.
I like this one. 1906. The census of the British Empire revealed that England ruled a fifth of the world.
Which
I guess is a lot.
A fifth of the entire planet? That would be... Yes, that would be a lot.
That's a lot, I guess.
Because that would have been... When was it?
That was 1906.
I mean...
1906. So...
Not a bunch... It's not Genghis Khan, but it's...
Well, you got to remember, England ruled India.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were just counting most of India there.
But, well, not... I don't think they're talking about population, are they? Are they? Or is it
no, but
land
even
mass?
in landmass, India's fucking huge.
It is, but also Canada...
One of the largest landmasses in the world.
But we're at 1906, we weren't... Do they count Commonwealth?
Oh, yeah, they must.
They must.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, but...
Obviously.
Because the Commonwealth is huge.
Yeah, and I mean, ruled, quote-unquote, is kind of a strong word.
That's fair. But that's kind of a neat stat, though.
I guess.
A fifth of the world, the planet. That's a lot of fucking...
Minus the oceans, and you're like, it's quite a bit.
Yeah, a fifth of Pangea
Well,
is a lot of fucking land.
In 1997, the Australian Parliament overturned the world's first and only euthanasia law.
overturned.
In which way?
I'm guessing they mean that they...
Allowed it and then disallowed it?
Yeah, it was allowed in
In what year was that?
1997.
Not too long ago. That was that was just around the Kevorkian murders, wasn't it?
That sounds about the right timeline.
I want to see that show. They did a biopic of Jack Kevorkian starring Al Pacino. That was apparently pretty good.
Al Pacino as Kevorkian?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fucking intense, right?
I've never heard of that. That's...
Yeah, it was an HBO miniseries, I think, like a 2 or 3 part miniseries.
You'll like this one, Adam.
Will I?
2001, Apple Computer's operating system Mac OS X went on sale.
Mac OS 10. Yes!
He's so excited.
This day, 19 what?
2001.
2001. Okay, so...
I see 3
12
Apple products from where I'm sitting right now.
12 years.
And I'm the guy with the Android phone. Surprised I haven't been burned at the stake yet.
I have a BlackBerry. It's a piece of shit.
You're way fucking behind. Okay, speaking of which, mine just made
Do you
it.
drive a rickshaw, too?
Shut up. 2005, Sandra Bullock received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Aw!
Cute.
Isn't that useless information?
But I love her.
Yeah, she does it for me. I'm sorry. Whenever I watch a Sandra Bullock movie, I'm like, yes, please. You can shut up.
I didn't say anything.
That's about everything that's really interesting.
I'm not going to say
That's
anything
all the
bad
interesting
about
stuff?
Yeah, I'd say.
So it's been 13 years today since Mac OS 10 launched.
her. And we are up to 10.8.
7. Wait, is Mountain Lion 8?
I'll check. A Mountain Lion?
I should know
have
this.
Lion.
I work tech
I
support.
have Mountain Lion. Click on mine.
Oh, wait. No, Mountain Lion's the most recent one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. never
Mine
mind.
is the most recent.
Mine is too.
Well, then you have Mountain Lion.
10.8.
Knew it.
10.8.3.
Yeah, see, tech support. That's all it's good for.
Yeah, I love my Mac.
Oh, me too. I haven't upgraded to Mountain Lion, though, because it just... a lot of the shit, like games that are designed for Mac, ported over to Mac. Mac upgrades their OS so fucking often that it's hard for a lot of these developers to keep up, so you end up, like, for 3 to 6 months out of the year, you're behind.
Well, you got to remember too, the great thing and the awful thing about Mac, depending on how you look at it, is that when they upgrade, they don't worry about backwards compatibility.
Which is a reason that it causes a lot of problem for independent software developers.
I get that, but at the same time, you don't end up with the Windows problem, which is, your operating system is like, 30 gigs, and then half of that is literally just support for like Windows 3.1 fucking programs. Like it'll support any Windows program back to like 95, I think.
Oh, I get that though, but I mean,
there's a certain point where you're never gonna fix their problem, which is that you suck.
Well,
until you, move on.
This is why a lot of companies, for example, the ones who make film editing software, that this is a big concern for me, because people have been moving back to PCs to do film editing because it's not worth it for them to spend $1,400 on a new editing suite because they can't keep up, because it's incompatible, because they have to buy a new one with every fucking Mac OS.
But you don't, 99% of companies out there that are making video software worth using are upgrading and for free, as the software upgrades.
Nope.
Final Cut.
A lot of them.
Final Cut is probably the best.
Arguably, no. Not anymore.
Well,
because they took a big step backwards with Final
Cut 10, I know.
Pro, yeah. And then you've got things like Pinnacle that went in the other direction. Instead of trying to dumb it down for the people who are making movies with their iPhone, they moved more towards the professional suite, where Mac was going for accessibility and ease of use.
Yeah, they made the newest Final Cut works a lot like iMovie.
Yeah, and a lot of the other programs.
But it's a lot more complicated.
The newest version of Pinnacle, I don't think is compatible with Mountain Lion.
But the newest Final Cut is.
Yeah, but like we said, for any respectful film editor, anyone doing it professionally,
but you got to remember,
they're not gonna use it.
All the features of the old Final Cut are in the new Final Cut. It just looks different now. It makes everything a little more intuitive and a little easier. If you are a basic user, yes, name a function that's missing now.
It's the way that the timeline works. There's no function that's missing. It's just more
the timeline.
Difficult.
Literally, you drag and drop it above, and it automatically inserts another.
No, I know. That's the same way it worked in the other.
Yeah, but with the old Final Cut, it was like your layers were all there, and you just dragged them into layers that already looked like they were already existing.
No.
Yeah.
You could just drop one in and it'd make a new layer. If you drop it above.
Yeah, but you can go up to 99 layers, and the new Final Cut and the old Final Cut do all the same things. It's just the way that it's presented to you is a lot more simplistic. So if you know all the old school keyboard shortcuts, because I'm at film school and that's what I learned.
Going through all of those,
you can still use all the same fucking processes that you could use with the old Final Cut. You can use with the new one.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there's no reason to do that. It's adding steps to your work process, and breaking down the work process is what any professional editor wants to do. They want to have a clean and thorough process because they've got people working under them who are going to need to access all this software. They're going to have to go through extra steps to open up, whatever the fuck they need to use, color grading.
But that's not true. Like literally, all the buttons are there. You bring up a toolbar. It's the same toolbar as before, or you can hide it. By default, it's hidden, but you can open up the same fucking toolbar. That's what I'm saying about Anyway, we're getting a little more off topic than.
So this is something I'm just irked me for a little while.
But the new Final Cut 10, now that I'm used to it again, I really like it. I like that. If I want to, I can treat it like iMovie and just do the basics, or I can open up that other toolbar and do the same shit I used to do with the old Final Cut Pro.
Yeah. Or you can use Pinnacle, which it has compatibility with a lot more audio files. It's fully integrated with the entire Adobe suite, which Final Cut really isn't, not anymore.
Well, Final Cut does work with Photoshop.
Works with, yeah, but
but it comes with motion as well.
Yeah, but you've got things like Smoke, which it's a third-party editing program, and it's got all of those things integrated directly into it. I mean, color grading software. You don't even have to open up a new program like Motion. It's just all there. It's super specialized, compatible with every conceivable type of file format that you're going to be using. Like MTS formats, for example. That was a big thing for me because Kevin's camera records in MTS formats. Pinnacle and Premiere and Smoke, they all recognize it. Final Cut does not.
See, I've never worked with that particular file type, so I don't know.
You got to go through the whole process of converting it to .mov and then
which is stupid simple, but it just takes time to wait.
It takes forever, and that's what I'm saying. Adding steps to the process, time is money. Whole thing.
Yeah. So
Moving
I'm just looking at this like we're moving on. What's up?
I was just gonna say you could talk about. You have something here about an ex-WWE star, Chris Masters saves mom from burning house.
Oh, this is awesome.
I didn't even. I saw the headline on your feed, but I never read the article.
Okay, here's the gist. Like, something that it's not news when somebody has a fight with an argument. It becomes news when that neighbor takes the other neighbor hostage.
I'm sorry, what?
Chris Masters is a WWE wrestler.
Right.
His mother got in an argument with her neighbor. Her neighbor took her hostage.
Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, so he comes home, and so you got not news is an argument. News, he takes her hostage.
Yeah,
it's kind of a kidnapping. That makes it news.
That's the news. Yeah.
What makes it like great news? He comes home. He's a WWE wrestler. He saves his mother. This guy threatened to burn down the house if anybody came in. So he saved his mom. The crazy part of the news is how he saved her. Like, the police are all there, and they're screaming and hollering and da-da-da. Come out of the house, come out of the house. He's like, I'll fucking burn the place down if you come in. He uproots a tree, rips a tree out of the ground, smashes through a window, and goes in and saves his mother.
That's awesome. Did he body slam the dude who kidnapped her? Because I think that would be icing on the fucking cake.
Those details weren't in there.
Son of the year.
I know. He uprooted a tree.
Well, have you ever seen this guy? He's a fucking
I just
monster.
saw a picture of him.
He's kind of a beast.
Yeah, almost like Inhuman. But he's got a superhero physique.
But it's like an argument starts as an argument, and that's no big deal. Then all of a sudden there's a kidnapping. What the fuck? The son saves her. That's huge news. Wait, how did he do it? He ripped a tree out of the ground.
Wait, yeah. So he splintered the wall into pieces and went to what is he, the Hulk? Jesus.
No, I know. It was fucking awesome. So the article is posted on our Facebook page.
Oh, wow. See, of all the things for there not to be a viral video of, fuck.
I know. That kills me. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's fucking awesome. I have to post that.
And I've been so out of the loop with WWE for a while. Like, Chris Masters was only coming onto the scene when I stopped kind of watching it.
Yeah, and I don't really follow the WWE, but I just Googled who he was.
But picturing a guy with obviously a WWE superstar physique, going in and saving somebody.
When I watch it in my head, he's dressed in his wrestling gear. In my head, that's what's... I know they don't go home like that. They don't go home dressed in their fucking tights or whatever. But that's what I picture in my head.
Shopping at the Quick Way is at the Boston Market wearing the little Spankies. Fuck.
Kills me. Anyway, I just thought that was totally worth sharing.
It really is. I mean,
that's
it's not every day you hear about a daring rescue by some.
But he ripped a tree out of the ground.
I see.
Who does that? He didn't pick up a rock. He didn't. You know what I mean?
Didn't splinter the door down with a kick.
No, he just he put a tree through a window.
Yeah, I wish there was a video of that.
I know.
We should make a dramatic reenactment.
Oh, that'd be awesome. We can use those windows. Right, Em? That's all good?
Just get it in my head.
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not break your windows.
All right, fine.
Okay.
I think my landlord might have something to say about that.
Screw your landlord. He's not my landlord. not
Real
my,
thoughtful of you.
it's not my problem. So yeah, what was there? Anything else we posted there that was worth chatting about?
Was there anything that we chatted
You
about that was worth
revealed
chatting
that
about?
Rowan Atkinson is one of your major influences for acting.
Oh yeah, that was just a picture I found on
was
the
cute.
internet that said it was one of those motivational posters.
Right.
Ability,
Ah,
and then the caption was. Able to make 3 generations of people laugh without speaking a single word.
and he can make them laugh when speaking words too, because Blackadder was kick-ass.
I love
Blackadder was
Blackadder.
awesome. I don't know if you ever saw he does sketch comedy too.
Oh.
If you ever saw the video,
And the cat
And the
just
cat's
failed
freaking
to
out.
get up the loft. Oh, that's okay. That was funny.
that was funny.
But yeah, Rowan Atkinson's extremely talented. I'd love to see some of his sketch comedy.
Dude, look up Rowan Atkinson live. Look up Pink Tights and Plenty of Props. Look up No One Called Jones, where he's there's no kids, there's nobody else. It's just him on a stage
sweet.
doing like a monologue. But it's he's doing roll call at a like boarding school.
Okay.
As the teacher. He's yeah. So he's all the last names are like Bottom and Fist Up and like it's fucking hilarious. Look that one up. Look up shit. I forget the one it's called, but he's about the devil and the whole like Rowan Atkinson live. Any of those sketches, they kill me.
I'll have to
They
check it out.
kill me.
So you put it
So-
up because he's one of your like acting heroes or your.
Well, yeah, he's one of the people that I watched growing up that I was like, I want to be like that guy. Like I want the ability, I want the range of that, like, cause he can do things where he never speaks a word and you laugh your fucking ass off just based solely on his facial expressions and like the way he just emotes. But he also can just stand there, do nothing, and just speak and make you laugh.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, he's super intelligent. He's got a master's in, I think it's something like electrical engineering.
Yeah, and he went to like the
Oxford.
the finest prep schools and this and that.
And you might enjoy. I was watching this last night. It's a 5-parter on YouTube, which came from like a DVD session with Michael Caine.
I love Michael Caine.
Michael Caine does like an hour and a half long seminar on acting, and the DVD in its entirety is on YouTube, and it's fucking outstanding. It's incredibly good, and anyone who has any interest in acting, he has some of the best advice. And I mean, he's Michael Caine. He puts it in such a way that you can't help but listen and be gripped by the guy.
Well, yeah, he could. Michael Caine speaking and Morgan Freeman speaking are two guys that they could read the ingredients on the back of Kraft Dinner and I'd be like engrossed.
Say my cocaine.
Michael Caine.
My cocaine. It's
We got some tweets here.
We got some tweets
From Starlit Romantic.
Yeah, Danny boy.
Dan Haig.
Oh, Danny boy.
About Rowan Atkinson, he says his nickname is The Masterpiece. That should give you an idea.
Yes, it is.
And he also says
Oh
he
wait, I think that's
provided...
Chris Masters actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the wrestler. The masterpiece, Chris Masters.
Oh, yeah, that was from...
Chris the Masterpiece
Earlier.
Masters.
Yeah, that makes
or
sense.
However they put it.
Thanks, Dan, for.
But
Awesome.
actually, about Rowan Atkinson, he provided the voice of Zazu from The Lion King, too. Let's not forget that.
Oh, I knew that back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite characters. And pulled it off so well. He's one of those guys that you just don't recognize
I've
him.
got a lovely bunch of coconuts, doodly-doo. There they are, standing in the row. Bum, bum, bum. Big one, small one, some as big as...
Yeah.
I guess we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for watching. As always, facebook.com/itsonhalifax, Twitter @itsonhalifax.
Thanks for listening if you weren't tuning in to watch.
Yes, thanks for watching if you did.
Yes. And join us again next week. Hopefully we'll have stuff settled in a little bit. We'll be getting comfortable in Emily's abode here.
Yeah, we're not
Again.
even tearing down. We're just going to leave it the way
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
just you can
sleep
you
that
can
way.
deal with it.
No, she disagrees. Follow us all on Twitter, MarkAdamHFX.
Pat King HFX.
Emily Dewar is still MJ_979.
I will change it eventually. I gotta find one I like, though.
Okay.
gotta live with
keep
it.
sending suggestions to her.
But-
MJ_979.
Check out her series Ham Hands as well.
Yes,
that
we are
takes
on the
place
set.
right here.
Do it.
We are on the set of Ham Hands.
We'll be
Where can they
covering
find
the
that?
merits.
Facebook.com/HamHandsHFX.
Ham Hands HFX.
Also, it's on Halifax.ca is our website.
Yes, we have a .ca. I love that. That's great. High five. Half five.
Half.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
This episode of It's on Halifax was brought to you by A2 Canada and Oasis on Spring Garden Road.